Hello and welcome to round 2 Oddities for the 2025 AFL season. Now, unfortunately, I'm probably only going to be able to do one video a week. I won't really be able to have that much time to be able to do the injuries and the suspensions as much as I would like to continue that with work and life. I'm just finding it hard to get the time. So I think we'll just have to be happy with one video a week. Oddities is obviously the main bread and butter of this channel, so we'll continue with that. So this first clip, I think, is really bizarre. I don't know if the cameraman knew this was happening, or at least the commentators didn't seem to pick up on it. But you have the red, you have blue, and you have the white hair to symbolise the dog's significant gain. But I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but I mean, Rory Lobb had the blue hair, and Vandermeer had the white-ish blonde hair, and poor old Ed Richards is just born with the red. So anyway, I thought that was quite the oddity. I think this no call by the umpire can be written down as one of the worst no calls of all time in AFL. After Hoff runs down Ashcroft, you can see that all the players stop because they just know it's holding the ball. You can see that he has prior opportunity to get rid of the ball, doesn't get rid of it, and then gets tackled, but somehow the umpire just calls play on. You can see everyone does the right thing and they don't touch the ball because they know it's holding the ball, but the umpire hasn't called it, which is just so bizarre to me. The umpire needs to call this. Thought this one was also quite strange. The umpire didn't call anything. You can see McDonald collects the ball. He has a chance to handball the ball off. He doesn't, and he gets tackled and goes to ground, but the tackle kind of gets unstuck as he hits the ground. Do you reckon this should have been holding the ball? Typically you see it get called once the player goes to ground. Both the tackler and the person being tackled go down to the ground. It's usually a free kick. This probably should have been paid holding the ball for me. If not, in the back. But yeah, the umpire just said play on again. I'm not entirely sure what Sardis was trying to do here, but he just gets in the way of Durham, and luckily he realises it's his teammate and sort of just lets him pass. But this was a little bit strange to me. Don't know if he forgot which team he's on, or he just didn't know which way Durham was going to go and eventually got out of his way, but you don't see this every day. As Richmond collect the ball, they try to kick the ball forward, but it eventually goes out of bounds on the fall, and you can see the camera crew try to mark the ball, and you can just hear him go, "Oh!" as he completely drops the mark. When this one initially happened, I was a little bit confused, but then after hearing the commentators, this does make sense. As Harley Reid kicks the ball, it gets bumped late, so it's a free kick, but it's downfield because the ball was already in motion. So the ball should have been down, and then when the ball gets returned, it goes back to Harley Reid, which it was supposed to be a downfield free kick to the West Coast Eagles, but the ball went back, so then that's a 50-metre penalty for handing the ball back to the wrong person. I felt like this probably could have been handled a little bit better. The umpire didn't exactly get to the position in time to say, you need to go back to here. But then, on the other hand, the players need to know they've been playing this game long enough that it was a downfield free kick, and he probably should have just held onto the ball and put his hand up to his ear saying, you know, who do I pass it to? And eventually not giving away a 50-metre penalty. At this point in the game, it was kind of crucial because the Lions were mounting that comeback, but to give away that downfield free kick and then a 50 could have been extremely costly for them. I found this one a little strange because there wasn't really given an explanation until a lot later, but as TDK kicks for goal, it looks like it goes through, and then the scoreboard flicks over and says that it's a goal, but then you see Hawks kicking the ball in. So it's a little bit strange because I was thinking, why is that not paid a goal? Or if it's touched, why was there no score review? They didn't even review it. But in the end, they actually said that Silvani gave away a free because in the contest, he's pushed him in the back. So it was actually a free kick in the goal square, and then therefore that means no score at all. As Kane Farrell receives the ball, he's probably 55 to 60 metres out as he kicks it, and he clears the goal umpire by at least another 5 or 10, which at the very extreme end of it, that's a 70-metre kick. This is an absolute bomb. I thought this mark here by Liam O'Connell was extremely brave in his only second game, and he's an Irishman, so he's not super familiar with our game, but the courageous mark here didn't go unnoticed, so very well done to him. Take a look at the Pies' defense here. They just really do not want the Dogs to kick another goal here. You can see that Maynard and also Quaynor just completely fight for the ball as much as they can just to try and deny that goal. These are the sorts of efforts that can really win you games. Hopefully I'm not too biased here, but this was probably one of the most impressive goals of the week. There is another one by Sam Powell-Pepper coming up, but as you can see, that Rankin is chasing the boundary line at full pace, and he kicks it just inside the 50 metre from the arc and just completely slots it through for a goal. This is incredibly hard, especially when you're doing this at full pace. So this is nominated for one of the goals of the year so far, only early on, but very nice goal. Well done to the Illawarra Hawks, who won the 2025 NBL season in the Game 5 decider. Sorry to switch games here, but I just thought this free throw was an absolute stinker. They're not called shanks in basketball if you're not too familiar, but holy moly, this was absolutely terrible by Lee. Take another look. Okay, now back to footy. This is the other goal here by Sam Powell-Pepper. As you can see, he's running away from his defender, but he's actually running towards the boundary line, and he kicks it while running away on a very harsh angle and kicks it through for a goal. This is incredibly hard, and this was a very nice goal. So if Rankin didn't kick one pretty similar, I think this one probably would have won Goal of the Week. The Bulldogs end up with a free kick anyway, but this handball here from Kennedy is an absolute stinker. You've just sold your teammate into trouble here. This is only the first quarter, so it's probably just nerves. But this handball, you can see that he takes the mark. Take your time. He handballs it straight to his teammate, who gets immediately tackled. Unfortunately, it's a sling tackle, so they get a free kick, but you got to do better than this. A cheap little crappy handball which sells your teammates into trouble, that just makes you mad. On the weekend, I saw a lot of comments that were like this, that when the ball is inside the forward 50 and it's the offense side that is kicking the ball, then 15 metres is paid all the time. But when it's the defenders, the umpires call play on fairly often. This one I'm not entirely sure if it was 15 metres, and there's probably plenty of other examples, but it seems like the umpires have different rules for when it's in the forward line compared to when it's in the defence. Again, it's just the inconsistency that makes it really difficult for fans to understand these new rules. As a footy player, if you had to put yourself in Cottrell's shoes, this is probably one of the hardest kicks, even though you're completely open. After a free kick is awarded to Curnow, the Carlton team decide to take advantage, and the umpire is very late to call the advantage, or at least they couldn't hear that the advantage had been taken. And so you can see that Cottrell has the ball inside forward 50. He sort of stopped and there's no one around him, and eventually he hears the umpire saying advantage, advantage. So then he has to sort of focus and go through and kick the goal. This could have easily ended up as a shank, as he wasn't really focused and wasn't paying attention, but in the end, luckily for him and Carlton, that he did kick the goal. For me, this is another example of a really crappy hand pass that doesn't really achieve much. I guess Melbourne are trying to get the ball moving so they can get some scores back, but as you can see, Woden takes a bounce and he just completely fumbles the ball and eventually ends up being a North Melbourne goal just because he's unable to bounce the ball and panics when a defender is coming at him. Jath copped one straight to the plums on the weekend. Ouch. I thought this defensive offense here was really good by Hardwick. You can see that he gets in the way of Wiedering without giving away the free kick, so Wiedering doesn't have the chance to go for the spoil. You can see it's very subtle that he sort of just blocks him without making contact, enough to make Wiedering double guess the jump towards the spoil, so well done to him. As the Pies go straight through the guts when there's only a minute left in the second quarter before half time, you can see that the ball gets over the top to McStay, and he has the choice to either pass the ball or go for goal, and he somehow goes in between and kicks a point. This is an absolute coach killer. As Jamie Cripps goes back to have a set shot at goal, the security guard is clearly a Brisbane Lions fan and he's playing some defense there. Eventually the security guard does move and Cripps goes back, and it's well worth the wait because he kicks a goal. Sicily gets the better of Wiedering in this marking contest and then goes for a snapshot around the body and just hits the wrong side of the ball. So welcome to Shanks 2025. How's this effort here from Draper after he gets paid a free kick for a hold? He is, I guess, not quite straight out in front, but this is usually a drop punt for a right footer, and he goes across the body. You can see that he holds the ball so weirdly, and he's not on a typical angle that you would go through. A snapshot, he's gone past that halfway mark, so he's sort of kicking back against the body, which is very strange. But as you can see when he lines up, you probably won't be able to hear it on here, but you can actually hear the fans watching him groan and go, oh no, like he's kicking across the body. But he kicks a goal, and eventually he actually tells the fans, puts his finger up to his mouth and says, shush, I know what I'm doing. Ended up with 2 goals, I reckon, so he might be right. Sam Day was just trying to do the team thing here, but you can see that he actually kicks it straight into the defender on the mark, hits him, McGovern, in the chest, bounces off, eventually does go to the Brisbane Lion player in McLaughlin, who kicks his first goal in the AFL, but this could have been a coach killer. Jason Horne-Francis gives away a free kick for a high tackle, and eventually is very mad as for some reason he goes back and pushes him again, and eventually gives away a 50-metre penalty, and then a little bit of argy-bargy back and forth right before quarter time. Not sure what this was all about though. I did mention this quite a few times last year, but this is another great reason as to why you definitely want to try and keep your feet as much as you can. So kids who do watch this, try and keep your feet. As you can see, that Kako gets the ball, breaks the defender's tackle rather, and not one, but twice, and then it's able to run through, and he goes and kicks a goal, so well done to him. Looks like Rory Lobb is not a fan of the big American. As the ball comes through, he tries to spoil it and just completely punches Mason Cox in the side of the face. Ouch. As the ball goes inside the Cats forward 50, you can see the ball's paddled back by Nasiah Wangadeen Miller, and you can see that he taps the ball back, and eventually he looks like he kicks it, but Close might also kick it, and the umpire just says goal. I mean, it gets reviewed anyway, so that's fine, but surely Close knows that he didn't get a foot to this, so if he puts his hand up like it's a goal, they're going to review it anyway. And yeah, it's obviously well done by Wanganeen Miller. He's done well enough to get this ball over the line and only point. After the ball goes inside the West Coast Eagles forward 50, you can see Oscar Allen gets the ball, and off 1 or 2 steps, he just slaps the ball onto the boot. And luckily for him, the shape of the Sharon is very unpredictable, and as it spirals towards goal, it changes directions a couple times and then bounces to the right to go through for a goal. So I guess that's what you get with such an odd-shaped ball, but very lucky. Got to appreciate the effort from both teams here in the first quarter, as everyone just wants their hands on the ball. You can see that one of the Freo players is about to look to kick a goal sharp and just gets tackled, bumped off the ball. The ball gets harassed around a little bit, but well done to the Dockers. They're able to get the ball back, and Tracy's able to kick his second goal. He ends up with 4 goals on the day, so well done to him. Fortunately, not enough. Wanganeen Miller again. He fakes off 2 defenders and he goes through to kick a goal, but unfortunately only gets a point. So for me, so far, this is the point of the season. If he was able to kick a goal here, I feel like this would have been possibly one of the goals of the year. Fortunately, he doesn't, so point of the year for me. You see this get paid very often for front-on contact, but I feel like Caleb Sarong has done really well to not give away that free. I feel like this is the right call. As you can see, he only has eyes for the ball. He does make contact with the ball, a little bit of contact with the arm, but you can see that his intentions are only for the ball. So I'm more than happy if the umpires stop paying that and just play on like this one was. I feel like that is the right call for what this situation is. And well done to Sarong for stopping an almost certain goal. Dorco knows exactly what he's doing here. As he gets the ball, he sees the player run over the mark and make contact with him, so he just falls down onto the ground and gets paid a 50-metre penalty. He's pretty sneaky like that, but I mean, he ran over the mark, so fair enough, 50-metre penalty. It's just stupid by the defender there, but Zorko he does this stuff all the time, doesn't he? Anyway, that's it for this week. This is probably one of the longer videos I've made of a single week. I don't mind doing these longer videos if it's only one a week. So if you do like that sort of situation, let me know below. And I'll do the occasional update of my Brownlow tally probably at the end of round 5. And see what you guys think of my analysis so far of the first 5 rounds. Anyway, thank you for watching so much, and I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, so if you are new to the channel and you made it all the way to the end, surely this channel deserves a subscribe. You can help, if you are already subscribed, you can help push this video out to more people by leaving a like and put a comment below. Just tell me anything. Tell me about your day, what's your favourite colour, what's your favourite animal. Let's do that. Let's do favourite animal. Leave a comment below with your favourite animal. So the people who haven't made it to the end of the video will see all these animals, crocodiles, elephants, dogs, whatever it might be. And they'll be like, what the heck is going on in these comments? So leave that below. Let's confuse the rest of them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.